Ooga booga, ooga booga. Love Island, USA, has always been considered the ugly little brother of Love Island, UK. The UK version is vastly superior.
I've made myself look like an utter... No, you've made me look an utter mug.
Not you. I've made you look like an absolute mug.
However, that all changed last year. Season 6 of Love Island US has been seen as like the golden goose. People talk about this season like it has literal magic embedded in it, you know?
So what are your long-term goals?
Like, explain.
Your goals long-term.
Perfect cast, perfect drama. It's just like such good television. Now, as you may have noticed, I have become a little bit of the reality TV dating guy. That's the label I've now claimed, unfortunately. So it only makes sense that I would watch this, right? However, I'm so late on this boat bus. On this boat bus that drives across land and water, I'm late. I thought about watching this many, many months ago, but when I went to go look up how many episodes it was, 37, that's way too many. Most of the Netflix shows that I cover, usually 10 to 13. Like, that's like a nice sweet range. 37 episodes? That's like 5 times that amount. So I decided against watching it. But I had a little scheduling quirk where I was going to be traveling for 2 straight weekends. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to need something for plane rides. Let's download a couple episodes and maybe I'll give it a try. I watched all 37 episodes of Love Island before I took my second trip. I finished this whole show in 6 days. This show is 37 hours. If you thought, hey, that's impressive, Dylan, I think you also might need help like me. Because, like, the correct response is, what's wrong with you? You know? I really just wanted to see if what they said about this season was true. Oh my God, yes. And I'm excited to share this with you. And don't worry, if you have not seen the show, I pride myself on being able to walk you through. I'm going to cover the most interesting bits. I'll set it up as though you don't know anything about it. It's going to take a lot of work because at one point, there are 17 people in the house at one time. So, yeah, it's going to take a little work, but you leave that to me. You sit back. I said, sit back. Everyone leaning forward is like, whoa, hey, okay, I'm back. Let me explain the concept of Love Island. So, a bunch of hot guys and girls come into a villa. All right, now you're all caught up. That's the concept. They're always bringing in more people, so often there'll be 1 or 2 extra guys or girls. And then every couple days, they get together and they sit around a bonfire. And then each of the girls or guys, it alternates, decides which one they want to be with. And anyone left over, they leave. I say they leave, but they specifically say you're dumped from the island. Like it's Survivor or something. The person I want to start with is JaNa. We love JaNa. You don't get a choice. I get 2 people that you have to love, and one of my choices is JaNa, so sorry, you don't get a choice. JaNa carries herself very well. She's really funny, very personable. The one thing I noticed is I've seen through her flirt technique, and I'm tired of it, JaNa. I'll cover that in a bit. But first day, as is Love Island tradition, they need to all sort each other off into couples. Now, I've watched season 1. That's on my channel as well. I haven't seen any seasons in between. But what I recall, I thought that they brought out one guy at a time, and the girls would either step forward or stay still if they wanted to match. And then if multiple girls step forward, the guy could pick which girl he wanted to go with. But the girls had the option, if a person they're more attracted to came along, they could still step forward and, you know, go with someone else, which would bring you so much drama. But that's not what they do on season 6. Yeah, I was a little disappointed. Essentially, all the guys are standing there, and the girls all at one time just go over to the guy that they want to be matched with. Our girl, JaNa, she goes over to 6'8".
You girls really knew who you wanted.
We all can't be 6'8".
Does he have a name? I would assume so, but he's barely around. You don't gotta worry about his name. He's 6'8". Why did 3 girls choose him? 6'8". Sometimes I feel bad for guys who are short because they'll complain and it's like, it's kind of justified. Like, you can eventually work through height or any like physical deficiencies. I don't want to call it a deficiency. You know what I mean though? Like, it's seen as more attractive to be taller and you can eventually work past it. But like in this setting, it's like, okay, who do you want to go with? Oh, I'll go with tall guy. It's so easy. Since 6'8" has the 3 choices, he chooses JaNa of them and they are a couple.
You've made quite the first impression.
The problem is 6'8" is a rock. He is a classic man as you would think of in 1544. Like, he's just a guy that he's not going to initiate conversations with his woman. He's not going to talk about his feelings.
How do you feel about me right now?
Cool.
He has them, but he's going to keep them locked in a vault with a 28-inch steel door. And he's lost the combination for how to get inside. It's just completely inaccessible. Oh, man. JaNa literally goes to him, and she's like, hey, can we talk about your feelings? And he's like, no, basically.
I don't know if it's harder for you to open up or if this is just really how you are.
Cool.
JaNa, of course, gets frustrated because she wants to build a connection with this person she's just met, right? She wants to know about him, and he's just not really divulging much about what he thinks or feels. And, of course, as Love Island tradition is, they bring in bombshells, which is just new hotties, right? And JaNa takes a liking to Clark Kent. Not his name, obviously, but he does look like Clark Kent. Clark Kent. He looks like Clark Kent. He looks like Clark Kent. You try saying that fast. I can't hear if you did it or not. You're probably just sitting there like, all right, continue. I'm not going to say it out loud, Dylan, you idiot. Clark isn't all that interesting, unfortunately. He seems like a nice guy, right? And he gets along with everybody. I don't know. There's just like an it factor some people have or don't have that make them good for this kind of show. I think Clark would make a great relationship partner for someone outside of the show. But like in this fast-paced feelings get like amplified to 100, like you gotta bring a certain something, and I feel like he doesn't bring that a whole lot. I forget who he's originally interested in, but it doesn't really go anywhere, and then JaNa pulls him aside for a chat, and he's like, oh, okay. And there's an interesting thing that happens on Love Island, because if you don't have a couple, you get kicked. So new people are always searching for anybody to connect with. And you can watch as people convince themselves that they like somebody, and they're willing to test it out. But you know that they're not really, like you could see it, you can feel it. With Clark, I got the sense that he wasn't into JaNa at all. Well, maybe a little bit. Only enough to keep him around until he finds somebody else he wants to get with.
With Kaylor, she probably like caught my eye when I first came in. So like she was the first person I went and talked to. But it kind of like perked me up a lot that you came and grabbed me.
She was the one that pursued him. He was the new bombshell. It's kind of the onus is upon him to go around and meet people. And of course, he uses the excuse like, oh, I thought you were locked in with your partner, so that's why I didn't pull you aside. I totally would have if I knew that you were thinking about jumping ship.
Immediately, I saw your connection with Corey, and I was like, okay.
Okay, bro. Like, that's just such a used excuse. And of course, after a couple days, it's the worst moment because JaNa is sitting there praising Clark, and she's like, oh my God, I wish other girls could have you because you're so great. And he's like, did you say you wish other girls could have me? Funny you should say that because I want a different girl.
Everyone in their situations, and I just feel like if only they had someone like you, they'd feel way much better.
I am interested in having a conversation with Leah because I do like to think she's a really cool girl.
And of course, she immediately reads the tea leaves. She knows Clark's gone. He's gonna go pursue Leah. One thing I did want to say about JaNa, though, the way she flirts. Oh, it's diabolical. In one of her first conversations with a guy to try to make a good impression, she'll find something about them and then be like, oh my God, I've always wanted my future husband to have that trait that you have. She does it, I know, at least 3 separate times. Like, I think there was a guy that came in and his first letter of his name started with a J, and she was like, oh my God, I've always wanted my husband to have a first name that started with J.
Okay, I always thought I'd marry someone that starts with the letter J, so all of our kids could have the letter J.
She also has another one where I think it's with Miguel. He comes in and she's like, oh, I always wanted my future husband to have a British accent.
Like, I want to marry a foreigner.
And then she goes into detail about why she wants that.
And I've convinced myself that I want to have my kids to be British, like British accents.
I think she did it one more time. This is the problem with this being 37 episodes. Going through and finding all these clips is going to be annoying. If you know that third moment, you might have to tell me, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. I don't think she used that on Clark, which maybe is why he jumped ship. Maybe that was your fault, JaNa. Clark wants to pursue Leah. Now, Leah, let me just say, of all the people that became phenoms from the show, it's Leah. It's kind of like the Harry Jowsey situation where everyone gets a little famous, but then someone gets like mega famous. And that's happening with Leah. And she was an early favorite of mine because, well, she's fun. She's a fun watch.
Can you juggle?
I actually can juggle.
Fuck.
Is that hot?
There is one other phenom from this season. Not quite to the same level, but similar. We're talking about Snake Man. On the first night, Leah and Snake Man, they pair up, and it's like instant chemistry. It's uncanny. They do a little bit where like they say like, oh, we have one brain cell between us, and then they pass the brain cell when they need to talk to each other.
Hand me the brains.
Had the brain cell now.
Like, it's just, like, the chemistry is unmatched. It's crazy. And, of course, I call him Snake Man because not only does he have a tattoo of a snake, but he wrangles snakes. Like, that's his thing.
I'm a snake wrangler.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah.
He'll talk about how he spends his days, and he's like, okay, well, I wake up, and then I go out into the woods, and I catch snakes. And then people are like, why? And he's like, because I want to catch snakes. It's like, what are you talking about, dude? Oh, I love him. I love him so much.
It reminded me of Miami.
Why were you there for a holiday?
Yeah, I was catching some snakes.
And apparently people are split on him, whether to like him or hate him. You don't get a choice. Unfortunately, he's the second person I love. You don't get a choice in the matter. You have to love him too. So this is a Snake Man love zone.
What are you interested in?
Anything.
You're interested in anything. You're not interested
Other
in
than
snakes.
snakes.
I'm not exaggerating. I don't think we have a single thing in common.
The reason I like him so much is because he's got 3 traits. When you marry them, it becomes like a really good person. He's genuine, he's introspective, and he takes accountability. He is also at the center of the 2 craziest moments of the season.
No.
Sorry, dude. I can't. No.
Please. Buddy, don't do this to me, man.
We're coming up quick. We'll get to him quick. I can't express how good these scenes are. So Leah and Snake Man, they hit it off. They do the brain cell thing. They both love animals. They're finding so much in common. It's just so easy to talk to one another. It's like they were brought to the show to be paired up together. Everything is going swimmingly. Until it's still the first episode, by the way. The first bombshell of the season comes in. Her name is Liv. She is something.
I'm saying to their Liv, shut the fuck up.
For her role as the first bombshell, she gets to steal any single guy that she wants to. She talks to everybody over the course of a day, and at the end of the day, she picks one of the guys. She has her eyes on a few of the guys, and Snake Man is one of them. Her and Snake Man have a conversation, and it feels okay, but it's not like overly flirty. And even Snake Man walks away from the conversation like, I don't think she's gonna pick me.
So, what are you passionate about?
Not really animals, not snakes.
They gather around the bonfire for Liv's decision, and she chooses
Rob.
I'm just realizing right now that his name is Rob, and I haven't said that yet. That's Snake Man. This causes a good bit of early tension because Snake Man and Leah, he has been telling her, hissing in her ear, that she's not going to pick me.
What is the tea? What do you want to know?
Just like a rundown.
You don't have anything to worry about, I'm pretty sure. We're good. We're gonna be okay.
But then Liv picks him, and now Leah's thinking like, okay, well, the things you're telling me must not be true, because Liv wouldn't pick you. She wouldn't just like take a wild swing on someone that didn't give her signs that he's open to wanting to get to know her more. But that is exactly what happened. It's so genius. I love it. It's such a crazy decision that Liv made.
You are now single. And as you know, it's never good to be single.
And it only devolves from there because one thing about Snake Man, Rob, he was on Season 5. He came in at CASA AMOR, which, for those that don't know, late in the season, they always separate the guys and the girls, and then they bring in like 12 brand new guys and girls for everyone to meet. So you spend a couple days away from the person you're partnered up with, and you start getting to know new people. And then you make a decision, do you want your old person or your new person? But Rob was really into one of the girls from the Casa Amor when he came in. He felt like she was really closed off to him, and there was nothing really he could do to win her over.
This situation is like similar to like the situation I was put in last season. I came in Casa Amor and I liked this girl, and she was like had a really strong connection already, and she didn't really give me a chance. I don't want to do the same thing to you.
Yeah.
So Leah is hearing from Rob that Liv's not gonna pick me, and then Liv does. And then now you're telling me you're gonna be open to getting to know her? It's like, well, now you seem suspicious. Do you see the recipe for this paranoia? Oh, it's so wonderful. For us, obviously, not for them. But who cares about them? They're just our little playthings. They're just our playthings for entertainment. That's it. Sorry. Snake and Liv have nothing in common.
I can tell you this with 100% confidence. We have absolutely nothing in common.
Then he does this cute thing where he walks up to Leah and he whispers in her ear,
"When I give you the signal, meet me at the dock."
Okay.
And then he goes over, gives her the signal. Listen. If you want to make a romance feel special, you do cute shit like this. This is, oh my, I think I fell in love with him right here. When I give you the signal? Oh, come on, dude. That's game. That's game. And he pops out from behind the thing, and it's, there's a portion of people who are like, I need them together. They are the cutest thing ever. And I get that entirely. Unfortunately, this is about to be broken up because we have a super hottie coming in. Her name is Andrea, and she comes in and she zeroes in on Rob.
What's happening? Who is it?
It's Rob.
It's Rob.
Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. Rob is conflicted because on the one hand, he's built up this nice thing with Leah, and on the other hand, Andrea's super hot too. So it's like, my life is so hard. 2 hot girls are into me. But Rob had just gotten Leah's trust back from the whole Liv situation, and now we got the Andrea situation. But that's the thing, is the producers specifically tell them, explore your connections. That's what the show is about, and Rob is really struggling because as he's getting to know both girls, he's starting to have feelings for both of them, but it's starting to eat him up inside because he knows he's gonna have to hurt one of their feelings. And of course, both the girls are starting to get anxious because the one that he doesn't pick is susceptible for elimination. If they're not in a couple, they gotta go. Usually.
I hate it. I hate it.
Rob goes on a date with Andrea, and when he comes back to the house, he has a quick little conversation with Leah, and then he goes and has another long conversation with Andrea. So it's like they go on a date, they come back to the house, they go up to a different area of the house to just talk more.
Hey, lovebirds. Would you mind if I get up in here for a sec?
Leah confronts them, and Rob... How do I put this? He has a swelling of emotion. He has a panic attack because he's really struggling here. I think a part of it's like the weight of the show, and it's like it's pretty intense. There's nowhere to really get away. They're not allowed to journal, which is probably a smart move on the show's part. Anytime you want to get thoughts out of your head, you have to go to the diary room and talk to the camera. It's messy, but it's like it's good for television. So he starts crying. He's like, hey, I just need a minute. So he goes off and cries, comes back over. They try to rekindle the conversation. It continues to get worse. Oh, it gets worse. In this moment, Rob just wants a little bit of comfort. He wants Leah to be there for him and just to console him. And in her head, she's like, okay, well, it feels like you're ready to ditch me for another girl. So why would you want comfort from me when you're the one doing the pain inflicting? Right? She's looking for answers, and he's like, hey, well, since we're fighting, let me just say what other problems I have in the relationship. Yeah, sometimes the smooshable energy between us feels like we haven't found our groove.
I think you're sexy as fuck, but I feel like we don't really have a groove.
Leah takes this as, oh, so you think I'm a horrible ogre who is completely untouchable and it pains you to look at.
They judge me before they even know me.
I'm going to play those 2 clips. I'll play what Rob said specifically, and then I'm going to play Leah's response, what she heard, and you tell me if she took it out of context and just like made it way worse than it was.
We don't really have a groove.
You think I'm like that horrible and like this like ogre to touch? If you hated me that much, then why wouldn't you just stay with Liv if it was that fucking gross to you?
Rob needs to be alone to process his emotions. I can relate to this, but the problem is this is a house designed not to have privacy. You know, they want to capture everything so that it leads to more entertainment for us, these little play rats for us. Where is there privacy in the house, though? There are some little nooks and crannies, and Rob finds one underneath the pool. There's like a little canopy. This is so fun. What a moment. The dramatics of this, perfect for television entertainment. I don't know if people are able to do this. I know I can. Even when somebody is upsetting me on a TV show, a reality show more specifically, I can at least acknowledge that they're providing something. Like they're making me feel something inside. And I don't know that everyone's able to process that, or if they just go, oh, I don't feel good about that. I hate him. You know what I mean? Because if everyone's just nice and happy and having fun all the time and there's no drama, it's like, okay, well, that's just boring. So the people that do bring drama, as long as it's good drama, then I appreciate their efforts. And I wonder if the people that hate Rob are like, just like unable to parse that through. I can't imagine wanting to hate this drama that Rob gives because it's so good.
Now I'm wishing like I just never heard the things he said tonight.
This is so fun. And this isn't even as good as the next one he brings. And I will say I am doing a lot of Rob defending. He's my boy. But I do know he is not perfect. Listen, when you're in a fight with your girl who might not be your girl, and she's like in that uncertainty portion and you have multiple options, it's not a good time deep into that fight to be like, hey, since we're fighting, let's talk about some other things that I don't like about you.
Since we're hashing things out, I don't think you listen to me.
Okay.
And I think you cut me off often.
Okay.
And there is also a point when he got back from his date with Andrea, he had a quick conversation with Leah, and he just reiterated, he wanted to be honest. He said, I want to get to know her more. Her and I kissed. But hey, listen, that doesn't take away what you and I got, baby girl. That's what he says. Well, without the baby girl part. Maybe he should have added it.
And we kissed. But it doesn't take, take away from us.
Leah, of course, like what's the good response to that? What's the mature way to go about that? She just says, I get it. And then Rob, this will be the last time I complain about you, Rob. Come on, man. You can't. He's like, you're so cool. You just get it. You're such a cool girl.
So cool.
Who?
You.
Why?
Because you just get it.
Yeah.
Rob, there's just certain things you don't want to say to women. You're so cool. You get it. When I flirt with other girls, you don't go crazy. I love it. You're so cool. Homie, she's just being mature. She's not causing problems. But like now it feels like you're rubbing her face in it. You let me get away with things. You're so cool. That's just, you don't want to go down that road, my guy. I promise you. After that blow up, he's in the pool. He's out of the pool. She's feeling some type of way about looking like an ogre. At that point, he's like, okay, I think I just got to jump ship. Andrea, I'm going to go with you. He chooses her. And frankly, it's a relationship of bliss. They get along swimmingly. In fact, they become quickly the strongest connection in the villa. And they have been together less time than some other people. It's crazy to think things could go so well until
One girl and one boy will be leaving the villa.
this is the second iconic moment of the season. I mentioned before, America loves Leah. She is the fan favorite, which of course makes Rob, who essentially split up with her, it puts him in the doghouse with America. That's not a good place to be because occasionally they have America vote for their favorite couples because the least favorites are going to be susceptible for elimination. And that's what happens here. They take the bottom 3 couples, they split up the guys and the girls, and then they go to the safe guys and girls and say, you have to eliminate one of your own. Guys, you decide which guy you want gone. Girls, you decide which girl you want gone. Diabolical. It gets blood on the hands of the people in the house. That's such a good idea. Love Island, how are you so good? How did you do this? You guys are brilliant. I love you. Thank you. The guys kick out Hakeem. Rob was in the bottom 3, so I was a little bit worried, but I didn't really need to be because Hakeem was there, And I don't know how much I want to say about Hakeem. There's nothing really that you could point to and be like, oh, you're a terrible person. Like he gets into a fight with Liv, but then again, Liv can be rough around the edges and she can kind of enjoy conflict. So I don't know. It's this weird thing that is like, you kind of have to go on vibes and it's unfair because it's unsubstantiated. But there's something about Hakeem that just like, oh, something's not right. It's an easy decision for the guys. It's a unanimous Hakeem. You gotta go. Sorry. And then we switch over to the girls' decision. This is where things get wild. Andrea is in the bottom 3. She has a super duper strong connection with Rob, so I feels like that's gonna save her. Then there's Nicole. She's in a connection with Kendall, but she's also exploring with Miguel. Like literally an hour before they gathered around the fire, she kissed Miguel. So it's like, okay, well, she's got one foot in 2 doors. And then there's JaNa, who had a relationship with 6'8", and she had a relationship with Connor, and then he left. So that's 2 failed relationships, and she's got no connections and no prospects in the house. Unfortunately, it kind of feels like she is the clear choice. However, the girls, the first thing that comes out of their mouth when they huddle up is, we're not kicking JaNa out.
Obviously, he was saying he'll go JaNa.
And JaNa's name is not spoken again. She is not up for consideration. The girls have loyalty to each other, and so they choose to keep JaNa. So the choice is between Andrea and then there's Nicole. The girls decide to kick Andrea. You couldn't script this any better. Editor, director, marvelous work. This is like cinematic reality television. The rack focus from Serena revealing the choice to Rob, who's disgusted. Cut to Andrea, she's starting to cry. Then to Aaron, who cries, which... why? That didn't make any sense when I first watched it. You learn more, and I'll tell you in a minute. You're like, why is he crying? Like that, he's not close with Andrea. That doesn't make sense. Then it cuts to the 3 girls. All their hands come up to their face. The 2 on the left, shocked that it wasn't them. Andrea, hands up because she's crying. I think of the 3 girls, they thought Andrea would be the safest because you come to Love Island to find a strong connection, and they have the strongest in the house right now, which confuses the boys. All the boys do not understand what is going on.
Is it she got the strongest connection in here? That makes no sense.
It's the worst decision. That's what they think. And I was in that same boat. It didn't make any sense to me.
Hakeem had no one in here that was interested in him. Neither is JaNa. It's 2
+2.
Rob squinting like there's an eye doctor in the distance, asking him to read the 5th row of letters.
No.
Aaron, before Rob can even say a word, just says no. He knows what Rob's thinking. He knows what Rob wants to do. Rob gives a dramatic, like, hey man, I'll see you again. I'm out.
I'll see you again.
He gives us some of the best eye rolls you're ever gonna see. This scene was just like absolute cinema. I loved it so much. Like, all of the emotions that were evoked out of me, oh, it was so good. I was pissed because I love Rob, but at the same time I knew it was gonna just create more drama and fun, so like I was okay with it a little bit. I'll tell you exactly what happened. I'll tell you what I think the girls were thinking, and then I'll tell you the girls' logic that they used to the guys, explaining their decision away. They're different. See, the girls, I believe, they thought Andrea was there for the wrong reasons. Like, some people come for the connections, the show, the love, and then some people come for like the social media clouds to be on television, and it's not as genuine and pure. And I think the girls got a bad vibe from Andrea. Got the vibe that she wasn't there for the right reasons. I think she just didn't fit in quite as well as maybe some of the others. So they're like, okay, we'll kick her. I think that's their motive. And in hindsight, it looks like they've been proven correct, because Andrea became like persona non grata, Spanish for person no one likey. And this is, listen, I love watching the show. I'll catch a couple interviews after the show is over. I'll definitely watch the reunion. I'll like dip my toe into a little of the drama, but like I just can't be bothered. Hundreds of hours that you have to follow to get all the drama, and I just don't have it in me. The dopamine hits just aren't worth it for all the work you have to put in to keep up with it. It's not my scene. But apparently, since the show ended, she was posting, Andrea, she was posting a lot about some of the other girls, some of the beef, so I don't know, whatever. And it just did not take well with the cast when they left the house and they saw all it. They were not happy with the things she said. You guys, if you guys are some of those sickos that I was talking about that follow all that, you can, I say that, but I'm glad that you guys do, because then you guys can give me the abbreviated version. Now, this is the logic the girls used when they were explaining the decision to the boys.
It's not fair if Rob and Andrea stayed. They're so close off to each other that every new island that comes in, they wouldn't have a chance because these people are already closed off.
Andrea was already very close with Rob, and both of them would not be open to exploring new connections as much because they liked each other so much. And since the other girls weren't in a relationship yet, they deserved to stay to find the relationship. There's not much logic in that, and it makes sense because they couldn't really defend themselves, and all the guys are like, that reason is stupid. Even Miguel is like, that is not a logical choice.
There's a logical decision, and I think that was an illogical one. I'll just be real.
Like, the whole point of the show is you want to meet somebody who you would want to carry that relationship on outside of the show. The first step is to meet them, build that connection, and then you test it with bringing in new people, CASA, AMOR, that sort of thing. It's like a two-step process. Meet a person, build it, and then test it. Rob and Andrea, I felt like they were pretty strong in the first portion, and then there was just the testing portion, and then you'd have a successful relationship, which is what the show wants. And you can see where that logic falls apart, because if Kaylor was eligible for elimination, they wouldn't have eliminated her because she's in a strong relationship with Aaron. If it was Kaylor in Andrea's place, they would have kept JaNa and Kaylor and kicked out Nicole, right? So the logic falls apart because it's not carried through consistently.
I think she deserves to find love as well. So you're gonna not dump them because they're not in a connection in here? Like, that makes no sense whatsoever.
The reason Aaron was so emotional is because he was like best friends with Rob, which is something the show, I don't think, hinted at or showed any of like their friendship. I was like, why is he going crazy over one of the guys leaving? But apparently they're super tight. Eventually they start showing more of their friendship going on throughout the season. But at the time it was like a huge shock. Like, wait, whoa, Aaron, settle down. Rob is inconsolable. He's like, I'm leaving. You can't talk me out of it. He's emotional. He's trying to make them feel bad. He's like, congratulations, girls. Now you're getting rid of 3 people tonight. And Serena's like, shut up, bro.
You got rid of 3 tonight. Good job.
Which I didn't like as much, because to me, Serena, you are partly responsible for why he's feeling this way. Like, you could have a little grace why he wants to lash out a little bit, because you're sending home someone he's very close to. And the girls made a good point. It's like, well, what did you want us to do? Tell us who you wanted gone. The show kind of put them in a tough position by being like, kick out a person, and the guys had an easy choice. Like, Hakeem had no connections. He wasn't well liked around the villa. It's like, it's nice and easy just to kick him out. No blood on their hands. But at the same time, like I said, I think you can have a little sympathy for Rob, who's just suddenly losing a connection. Like, that's gotta suck. Rob haters, aka everybody who has an IQ below 75. Listen up. A lot of people use Rob saying he was gonna leave against him to show his bad character.
So Rob, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Like, he just wanted to make a scene but really he was going to stay all along. Like, how dare he make them feel bad and then not even follow through and leave? But I think you just have to, like, give people more grace. Like I was just saying, like, it's the heat of the moment. They just kicked out his person in the house. The logic doesn't feel like it makes a whole lot of sense. And it kind of feels like maybe they don't care about me if they're willing to just get rid of my person. Maybe they just don't want me here. You know what I mean? The emotion's crazy. Every single person is feeling crazy amounts of emotion. And he's getting the worst of it right now. Well, I guess maybe Andrea. she probably gets the worst of it because she has to leave. She doesn't get a choice. Oh, by the way, Hakeem, the entire time this is happening, Hakeem's just standing there. I kind of feel bad for him.
We wanted to keep all 3 girls, so please let me know who the fuck you thought were you wanted.
Like, everyone's going crazy. When Hakeem got kicked out, everyone's just like, all right. And then Andrea gets kicked out, and everyone's like crying, losing their minds. There's huge arguments about it because everyone wanted her to stay. That was so funny. Rob takes some time to cool down. He talks to a bunch of the guys. They all work to convince him to stay. And after thinking about it, he decides to stay. Nicole, she's upset because she was really close with Andrea. And she kind of has this weird thing where the girls kind of saved her in a way, and her friend's leaving. She doesn't know how to, like, where to place her anger. So she blames Rob for, saying he was going to leave and then not leaving.
You guys, I'm really mad at Rob. You're going to make a whole show about it and stand in front of everyone and yell at us? And yell at them and then not go with her?
He makes me sick.
But I think that was just, like, misplaced anger. Like, she didn't know. Really, she wanted to blame the show. Like, it's the show's fault. And if that didn't win you back, I'm going to play a line delivery of his that it has, like, movie star quality to it. Listen to this.
I came here to find a connection, and I fucking did, man. Like, I really like her.
There's something about that delivery that's so sweet to my ear. But JaNa starts getting an idea. She says, okay, well, now that Andrea's gone, Rob and Leah, you guys, your connection was pretty good. Maybe that rekindles? And she brings it up to Leah. And Leah, you can tell that she's kind of into it. And then JaNa brings it up with Rob. Rob's on the fence, but he doesn't shut it down.
I really like Leah a lot. I never stopped liking her.
I think she really likes you, too.
He's just like, okay, right now, it's just too early. Andrea was just kicked out yesterday. Like, I need time to, like, think through everything. In the meantime, Leah was partnered up with Clark. Literally, the second they become an official couple, Leah's like, oh, I don't want this.
Oh God, now that I think like it's something I have, I don't want it anymore. I just like hate his skinny jeans.
It makes sense. Like, I understand where she's coming from. He just doesn't have that it factor. And Leah's now like, oh, well, now we're coupled up. Now we got to sleep in the same bed. I don't really want to kiss him or touch him. Oh, no.
In theory, he's hot. But then, like, when he's actually in front of you, like, it's just, like, not doing it for me.
I do feel bad for Clark, though. We're going to get into something really cringy quick. The guys are talking about, like, freshly squeezed orange juice. They gave a bunch of that to the girls, and the girls set those on the counter. And they're like, okay, well, are they not going to drink them? They task Clark with going over sneakily to grab some of the orange juices for them to go and steal them. He's having fun. The guys are having fun. He's like doing ninja moves. He's this big dude, right? He's huge. But he's trying to do the sneaky ninja thing. And if Leah is into him at this moment, that's like a cute, fun thing. It's funny. But she's actively in that girl circle talking about how she's not into him. And now he's doing this. It looks like he's trying to, like, listen in on their conversations, but doing it in an obvious way, but acting like a kid.
What the actual fuck is Connor doing, you guys?
Can you get away? What the fuck?
Ew.
Oh, it's just so it's just the worst time, and I feel so bad for him at this point. It's so bad. But at the same time, as this idea that Rob and Leah, maybe a reunion is in the works, that idea is floating around the villa. So is another idea that Leah orchestrated Andrea leaving so that she can get Rob back, because Leah was one of the votes in the group, and they talked for I don't know, like 10 minutes or so, talking about like who they want to leave. They settled on Andrea. They said they were gonna split up the responsibility. They were all responsible for it, right? But then Leah tells Rob that she did not want a large say in that conversation because she knew that if Andrea left, she would be blamed for it because of the whole Rob situation, right?
I feel like I like kind of tried to take the back seat. I didn't want to have like a huge sway on it.
So she uses the words, I would try to take a back seat in that conversation. And then Rob hears that and he's like, okay, let me cross-check this information with Liv and Kaylor. And he talks to them and he says, Leah said she tried to take a back seat. And Liv and Kaylor are like, how dare she? Well, Kaylor's fine. Liv is upset.
Leah implying that she took a back step in the decision-making is like, what the fuck?
Because Liv doesn't want the girls putting blame on each other. It's a collective decision. So now Liv is a little against Leah, and she's saying, no. Leah was definitely a part in Andrea going home. So now Rob is like, okay, now I feel like Leah's manipulating the situation, trying to kick out my other connection just so she can get me. In the end, it's kind of like this weird situation. It's like a bunch of miscommunication, who said what. Leah wasn't really a strong driver in getting Andrea out. She did voice her desire for Andrea to be the one to leave, and she did vote Andrea out. I think it was a 3-1 vote. I think Liv voted for Nicole to leave, and the other 3 voted for Andrea. So Leah does have some responsibility in it. Yeah, I don't know. It just depends on whose side you want to take. It's just not a good look because she's part of the reason Andrea goes home, and then less than 24 hours later, she's talking to Rob, telling him, I'm not very strong in my connection with Clark. I could be one away. I could be swung.
Happier than you? Like, you're not happy with Connor, is what you're saying?
Do I think it's like my ideal situation? Probably not.
You told him that?
It's like she's very deliberately giving him that information to hint like, hey, door's still open. So after Rob hears all that, he thinks Leah is a large part of the reason Andrea's gone. He's not into it. Boom. Doors closed.
I just want to let you know my doors are shut.
Windows are boarded up. Don't even try to get inside. I got a sign outside. Trespassers will be prosecuted. Beware large dogs. Don't try to come on my lawn.
I'm really sad that I was right about her being not a good person and lying to me.
I do get why people like Leah. For the most part, she's, like I said, she's an entertaining watch. She feels largely authentic. The only thing I think I don't like about her is she likes to talk smack behind people's backs. Like, she'll go to the girls, and if she's upset, she'll talk bad on Rob.
And then she makes him feel like they're in high school and they're like fucking 30 years old. After I saw him crying like a bitch on the floor yesterday, I literally got the ick.
Then she'll go to Rob and have a conversation with him, and Rob will be like, I'm feeling a little sad. And she's like, oh, no, I don't want you to feel sad.
I'm sad.
What? No, I don't want you to be sad.
She's willing to shit talk, and then when she's in front of the person she's shit talking, she's like, oh no, I only want the best for you. There's a moment later during movie nights where some of her shit talking on Rob hears.
I don't think anyone understands that after I saw him crying like a bitch on the floor yesterday, I literally got the ick.
Oh, the way they play music during that, it is... Oh, it's so good in a painful way. We're gonna cover that a little bit later. Actually, you know what? Let's talk about the movie night thing, because that was hard. That was intense.
I'm literally just having such a hard time. Like, thank God, like you can cradle him while he cries in the corner.
So the clip is Leah saying when she saw Rob cry, she got the ick, and having to sleep next to him was painful because she was so grossed out by seeing that sight, which is brutal. And then Aaron cuts in to say this.
So because he cried, that's Nick, is it?
Aaron, please. You want to know why I'm calling him a bitch? Is that he was crying between having to choose between 2 girls.
He's not on the floor crying over 2 girls, is he? He's obviously opening up to you because he can see you're upset.
Rob's little monologue here is, I just love it.
Like, I'm embarrassed about it. I'm really embarrassed about crying, and it's really embarrassing to me. I was crying over 2 girls I just met, but like, it really did hurt me, knowing that I was gonna hurt you or her, but you just kept talking about you. You were like, are you okay? What are you thinking? How are you feeling? You're crying. You all right? Like, that never came out of your mouth. And I just felt so fucking alone. I was like, how am I in this place with 12 people, and I feel more alone than I have in years? And I lost it, and I jumped in a pool like a dumbass, and I made a complete fool of myself, and that's fine.
Leah apologizes like deeply for the things she said. Like, it comes across horribly.
I'm like disgusted with myself. I literally have like no words.
And Rob says like, hey, no, I understand you were deep in emotion.
And I get it. Like, that came from a place of hurt. I don't hold it against you. I still think you're a great person.
Speaking of movie nights, things come out about Aaron and Kaylor. Aaron and Kaylor are day 1 couple. They set up to be the sweetheart couple of the season.
I feel actually really happy right now.
Me too. You like made me cry.
I feel like I'm on top of the world right now.
It feels like every season of Love Island, they always have a couple that's like day 1. They go through their trials and tribulations. There's some drama along the way, but they always stick together throughout the season. Felt like that was going to be the case with Aaron and Kaylor. They have some early speed bumps. That's just like normal drama stuff. She kisses somebody during a challenge. He gets upset. He does something stupid. She gets upset. And although they both say like, I am done, I'm over it, like, they always get back together. So it's like, all right, whatever. That changes with CASA AMOR. Something happens. In the days leading up to CASA AMOR, Aaron and Kaylor are both flirting with the L word. Liar. They're trying to call each other liars. No, they're thinking about saying the I love you to each other. However, instead of saying that, they're saying, I'm starting to fall in love with you. I really love this about you.
I definitely like have love for you, and like I love who you are as a person.
It's like they're pre-testing it. You know, we're almost there, but let's just kind of talk around it a little bit. All of the boys are given the option to go to CASA AMOR. They don't have to go.
You can either pack your bags and leave or turn down the invitation and stay in the villa.
And I thought that was such an interesting choice because one by one, they all kind of make the decision for themselves. Are they going or are they staying? Since all the boys went, I thought it was just kind of, you know, he's going to be there for the boys. He's going to go as well. And I didn't think that was a big deal. He could have saved himself a lot of trouble if he had just stayed.
But I was singing with you every single night.
It's not a tit-for-tat situation. Like, yes, this is your experience and this is my experience.
So first day at CASA, they bring in the girls, the new girls that all the guys get to meet. And Aaron strikes up a conversation with Daniela. They both bond over the fact that they speak Spanish, which of course that's going to be oh, look, we have something in common. And then also, Daniela mentions that her mom passed away a couple years ago. And listen.
Fuck, stop. I will start crying.
No, don't. It's
Shit.
okay.
How do I say this in a way that doesn't make me look like an asshole? She wasn't trying to use that information. It just kind of came up in the conversation. However, saying something deeply emotional like that will usually make you a lot more likable. It's like, oh, I've experienced loss. It's like you feel that sympathy. You kind of have like your heart goes out to them. There's something there, all right? It definitely warms him to her. They are flirty. They kiss. They're kind of rubbing on each other. They're cuddling. And it's like, okay. Now, here's the thing. With Aaron and Kaylor, they had conversations about this. There's a specific moment on the show where you say, hey, we're closed off. You have that discussion. We're not looking to meet anybody else. Aaron and Kaylor have had that conversation. We're still going to be open to meeting other people. And you know what I'm thinking? The justification for Aaron in this moment? Boy Meets World. Boy Meets World. What are you talking about, Dylan? If you're unfamiliar with that show, I'm sorry. You should watch it. The greatest show of all time. The show is about Corey growing up from, elementary school all the way through college. And he's in a relationship with Topanga for the majority of it. There's a point in the middle of the show where Corey meets some other girl. At first, this is friendly, maybe lightly flirty, but that's not the way Corey intended it. But then this girl, I think it was Lauren? Is that right? Lauren? She gets a 4-hour bus ride to Philadelphia to meet Corey. And Topanga says, you know what you should do, Corey? You should just go out on a date with her and test your relationship because they've been fighting. Corey says, okay, fine, I'll go on a date with her. It goes super well. So Corey is meeting with his friend, Sean, his best friend. And Sean says, okay, I know how to solve this. Which one should you be with? And he takes out some jelly beans. He says, okay, let me ask you some questions. Pros and cons. One side is Topanga, one side is Lauren. Who's the better kisser? Who do you like talking to more? And at the end of it, the jelly beans are even. And Sean says, well, it's a tie. I don't know what to tell you. And Corey says, no, it's not a tie. And then he takes the jelly beans and he throws it on Topanga's side. And he says, I can live without Lauren. I can't live without Topanga. And then he rushes off to Topanga. That is what I thought Aaron was doing. I thought he was jelly beaning Daniela. I thought he was like, okay, let me test out this other relationship to figure out if I truly care for Kaylor. And maybe it's just what they show, but it looks like the entire time Aaron's not trying to hide this. So that's why him being so open about it made me think, well, I think he's intentional about testing his relationship with Kaylor by trying something with Daniela. With that exact specific logic, I can see the merit to it. Because you're not in a close relationship yet. You're on Love Island. It's the whole point of the show. Test your connections. Meet other people. My only thing was, as long as Aaron was honest about what happened, and he explained his justification in a similar way that I described, I was going to back him. Aaron did not do either, unfortunately. That's the L word. He was flirting with the L word, the liar. Once he gets back with Kaylor, he tells her about, some of the things that happened. Yes, they kissed. Yes, they cuddled. The show got a little messy. They sent the video clip of Aaron kissing Daniela and then another couple, starting to get a little action just to stir up the girls a little bit. My thing is just get everything out possible. Tell her every detail and then just cover it all at once. Let her get her anger out and then you can move on. What happens is he gives her a little bit of information. Doesn't want her too pissed off, so you'll kind of obfuscate a few things. And then a couple days will go by, and then the information will kind of drip feed out. And Kaylor continues to get upset every time she hears a new piece of information, and then it's another fight.
And I think all of us are surprised about this shit.
Kaylor cry yelling is the most annoying noise in the world to me. Because it's every episode. It's exhausting. Their relationship was just too much for me, man. It's a span of 10 straight episodes. She has a lengthy cry yell session. It hurts my ears.
And it's way more important to me than you, clearly.
Did you enjoy that? Did you like that? No? Imagine that. But that's like mixed in with all the other fun stuff. So you're dealing with some like fun stuff and then you get that. And you know why I love Rob? Probably for all the things I talked about in the most of this video, but also he's a great friend. Anytime Aaron messed up, he would go to Aaron and he'd console him. You know, Aaron's obviously going through a hard time, even though largely it's his fault. I was just thinking the word largely there. I said that just to give a little wiggle room if it's someone else's fault, and I'm trying to think, and no, it's entirely his fault. Even though it's entirely his fault, Rob is still there for him because he's his friend. But Rob will say to him, like, hey, you're doing great, but you need to take responsibility. You need to think from Kaylor's perspective. This is obviously hurting her. And he'll explain Kaylor's side of it.
You care about her honestly and truly, but put yourself in her shoes. She is very valid in feeling the way she does.
That is the best friend you can ask for. Liv. Liv is a great example of the opposite. Liv is like a hammer. Anytime Aaron messes up, she goes to Kaylor's side and she smashes things alongside Kaylor. Kaylor's like, Aaron's so stupid, and Liv's like, yeah, he is so stupid. What a dick, what a loser. Hate him. Why would he do that? But sometimes situations call for a little bit more nuance. Sometimes you don't need a hammer. Sometimes you need a screwdriver. And there was one moment where I remember Kaylor is like, stop, Liv, stop. I don't need to hear like an echo of my own thoughts. I don't need to hear about how he screwed me over. Like, I get it.
Please don't say how Aaron's a piece of shit. I know, so I don't want to hear it about. I don't want to hear how stupid. Yeah, I know.
In those moments, you want friends who are supportive of you while also like allowing you to see a different perspective to get you back on the right track. In all of the CASA stuff, it's Aaron's fault, but there are things prior to the CASA stuff where Kaylor is partly at fault. And if all Liv is saying in her ear is like, no, you don't have to change. You're a perfect person. You did nothing wrong and nothing ever has to change. You deserve to be angry. You deserve to be upset. It's like, well, sometimes it's nice to hear like how I'm responsible, right? And I could think things through a little bit more, you know? If she's on your side during an argument, you feel so good because she will fight and put herself on the line repeatedly. It feels nice to have her back in your corner. I can totally tell why if you're a girl and you're friends with Liv, you would love that. On the romantic front, Liv struggles pretty heavily this season. She is partnered with, I don't know, just like 4, 5, 6 guys. Like nothing even starts to form. And she breaks down a little bit because she's like, okay, well, what am I doing wrong? All the girls get around and they say, no, you're not doing anything wrong. You are perfect the way you are. It's every single guy that you've been interested in. It's their fault.
Why is this always happening? Like, what am I doing wrong?
It's not you, Liv.
It is, though. It has to be.
No, you're such an honest, brave, hot, intelligent woman, and it intimidates the fuck out of these little men. Yeah. And you don't need to change that.
I don't even have high standards.
There's a delicacy to that situation though. Like you don't want to kick somebody when they're down. When they're like, oh, what am I doing wrong? And then someone's like, oh man, I've been waiting for this moment. You are an asshole. You treat people poorly. You this, that. It's like, oh, wait, hold on. I'm already crying. Let's pull back maybe. What do I do well? But if all you ever do is say, no, you're flawless, then you don't provide any incentive to grow. And it's just like, I don't know, you're doing more harm than good just for like short-term satisfaction. I do appreciate Liv on the show though. I am so glad she's here because she loves a fight. She loves some drama. I know 2 off the top of my head, but there's probably like 3 or 4 moments this season where she's talking to one of the girls who's venting to her. And Liv just says, go over there and start some shit with them. Go fight them right now.
Go up there and fucking say something. What are you doing sitting here and telling me?
The girls are always like, no, that's crazy. I would never. And Liv's like, no, do it. Do it right now. She's the best. That's how Rob, when he jumped in the pool, that started because Liv went to Leah and was like, go up there and confront him. And Leah does. She did that because Liv wound her up and sent her up there. That was crazy. It would have been nice if she had found somebody to romantically, connect with, but you can kind of see it. Every time she had a conversation with a guy, maybe it's the way that it was edited. I don't think so, though. You would just see her kind of like sucking on the water bottle, not making any eye contact, looking off. All the responses would be kind of dry. And it's like, for example, Rob. Liv picked Rob of all the guys. Initially, she's like, that's my guy. That's who I want to steal. If you watch Andrea's body language when she has early conversations with Rob, look at how she looks at him and how she's sitting. Same with Leah. When she was having early conversations with Rob, like they are sitting and looking at each other and there's like sparks and energy there. And then Liv talking with Rob, it feels like she doesn't want to be there. That's the impression she gives off.
My mom got me this.
Shout out to your mom.
Yeah,
Does your mom do your shopping a lot?
No, never.
That would have been a nice thing for a girl to be like, hey, Liv, I think you could work on this. Like how you convey interest. Right now, it feels like you're disinterested in a guy. So make more eye contact. Be a little bit more flirty. Instead of being like, oh, no. Why would you change you? You're the best person of all time. I'm still angry. Like growing as a person and getting better is such a fulfilling journey. And like you're robbing somebody of that opportunity. Back to Aaron though, he'd have these really sweet moments, but if you start stacking them up and then looking at them as a whole, it starts to feel maybe a little manipulative. He does drop the L-bomb on Kaylor in the middle of a conversation where she's mad at him, and it just melts her, and all the anger just like leaves her.
You say it to another girl. Fuck, dude. Like, I don't even know if the things that you're saying to me you actually feel.
Oh, God. I fucking love you. There you go. I said it. I fucking love you to bits.
There's a different point where she's upset with him and they're fighting and he's like, oh, I got you a gift. And he goes and brings her like a seashell. And again, she wants to be angry, but she can't be angry because she got like this really sweet gift from him. And that's really nice. And there's a couple moments like that where it's like, it feels like you're just trying to get out of being in trouble by distracting her for the moment. Each of those moments is really cute. Like saying I love you in the middle of a fight, that's so romantic. Like that's straight out of a movie. Come on. But then now it feels a little like, okay, that, and then the necklace, and there's a couple other situations. Are you just trying to, you know, avoid responsibility of the fight? Just kind of like diffuse it for now and then hopefully she forgets about it? There is one more couple I want to talk about before, you know, covering where they are now. It's been like more than a year, I think, since the show ended. I think the reunion wasn't too long ago. But yeah, we'll get into all of that after one more couple. But before then, I want to also cover just other notes on the season. I wrote out that there was a clear point where they ran out of super hotties. And then they ran out of the tier below that. And then they started going to that third tier. And the drop-off is, there's a substantial drop-off. I feel awful for the girls. The CASA, AMOR guys, they might be nice people. That's the thing, is like, I'm not ragging on their personalities, but like, who cares about their personalities? That's overrated. I only care about their hotness. And that's just not, it's not there. Should I say this? This is going to be mean, okay? Here's what I'll do. I'm going to describe one of them, and I'm going to put them on the screen. And if you can decide which one I'm talking about, then it's not mean, it's just a fact and accurate. And if you can't figure it out, then I'm an asshole. One of these CASA AMOR boys looks like a baby that was zapped with an adult ray by a supervillain. Like it's a baby in an adult body, but not everything transformed perfectly. I hope you know which one I'm talking about. Because if not, then I do feel like an ass. The CASA girls, I thought, were also kind of the same, where it's like, it's a little bit better than the guys. There are some girls that are a little bit more attractive than I think the guys are, but it's still, it feels like slim pickings a little bit. I was thinking like, oh, this CASA AMOR is going to be so boring because no one's going to get tempted. And then all of the guys folded. I did not see it. I did not get it. Although it makes sense because all the guys, they bring back a CASA AMOR girl, but then they ditch them. They get back with the person they were with before they left for CASA. I feel like this had to have been a conversation. There's some strategy here. Think about this. If you are a guy, all the guys are in CASA AMOR. Why wouldn't they say, how about all of us bring back a girl? Then in the next bonfire, it has to be the guy's choice because there's going to be too many girls in the villa. They can't have it be girls' choice because there's not enough guys to pick from. So by flooding the villa with girls, it makes it the boys' choice. Does that make sense? Strategically, right? There's no way the guys aren't thinking strategically. Like, that had to have been a conversation. Oh, also, Miguel. I really like Miguel. At first, I thought he was going to be kind of like a douchebag, but he ends up being really cool and funny. And he does this thing where he, like, when he's a little uncomfortable, he'll put on an accent. And I relate to that. I do that all the time. Sometimes I do it even when I'm thinking about it doing it. So
I'm going to just say this. Everything I did, I said I did. It's just that seeing it is not good.
But when he gets to CASA AMOR, he's like, hey, these girls are my type of girls.
Bro, the women in the villa are gorgeous, but these ones are my type gorgeous.
When he said that, my thought was, oh, his type of girl is in front of him. That's the kind of girl he likes. Just anyone present. Anyways, there's another time when like these three bombshells came in and I was like, they're just not, they don't got it. They don't got it. You could be like the second tier of hottie. And then if you have like an accent, or if you're super flirty, or you have like some sort of specialty, like you can kind of be elevated into almost super hottie status. But like these three came in and I was like, okay, the guys aren't very good looking, and you know, relative to Love Island, and the girl, she's pretty, but she didn't feel that interesting.
What's good? Yeah, now it's starting to get bad.
So she didn't have that extra it factor either. She would have been good for Clark. They would live the cutest, most boring life.
I didn't want to snug too much, but I'm such a cuddler.
Oh, but I don't know what.
All of the challenges that they do are stupid. They're dumb, but they always bring drama, which I don't know how they managed it. Most of the challenges were just like, hey, point out somebody that did something wrong or that you don't like, and then kiss somebody that you do like. And well, obviously that's gonna cause drama. That's fun. The heart rate challenge was good though, and I don't want to show too much because it's like they all like strip. You know, like you'd be like a fireman or a nurse or a cowboy, and they all like do, you know, dances on top of each other, like stripper dances. And there's only a couple ones that are awkward, but the rest of them are like super good. Leah's is crazy. Kordell's ends up being like a super hit. Miguel. I gotta point out Miguel's because his was wild. In like I got turned on. I'm straight. How did he turn me on? What the hell? He did this thing where he put his hand in the fire and then grabbed Leah's throat. Dude, oh my, I've never been more impressed with a man in my entire life. That was crazy. I don't know if Rob's was good or not. I couldn't see if it was good or if I was just like in love with him, you know? So I don't know. The guy who did Thor, he had a couple good one-liners.
You can touch my hammer if you feel you are worthy. But good luck lifting it.
But then, you know, his dances were a little awkward and stiff, which, like, I don't want to judge too harshly because I know if I was forced to do it, he's doing it better than I could. So I don't want to, like, it's not my room to judge. So he is a returnee from season 5. So they bring in another girl, specifically for Rob. They bring in a girl called Cassie. They're both around for a few episodes, but they're both victims of America's vote. You know, their least favorite couples who are susceptible for, you know, getting kicked out. And obviously, who's America going to vote for? A couple that's been together for, you know, 30 days or these two new people who you've seen for 2 episodes. Oh, there was also the challenge where, oh, this is the worst. I'm probably gonna blur it a little bit or something because it actually made me gag. They had to get ketchup from one end of the yard to another without moving or using their hands. So basically, they have to put ketchup in their mouth, squirt it in their mouth, and then pass the ketchup from their mouth to another contestant's mouth, baby bird feeding style. Yeah, disgusting. Even the castmates were gagging about it. It was gross.
I'm just sorry. I'm just thinking about it now.
Ketchup, they also did it with other kinds of foods. The ketchup was the worst one because it's liquid and then now your saliva's getting in it. And then it's saliva to saliva to saliva. Oh. Oh, and then also, I'm only going to talk one more couple. And I'm not going to talk this couple. Kendall and Nicole. I like both of them individually, but their relationship just never did anything for me. I don't know why. I was faintly interested. But it felt like in season 6, there were so many good couples. Like, I think it would be fine in any other season, but I don't know. Just didn't do a whole lot for me. Finally, last couple, Serena and Kordell. This is going to get contentious. Cantankerous. Carnivorous. Give me that meat. I was so conflicted because most of the season I hate them. But then when they are clicking, they're like the best couple in the villa. So night 1, Serena, she's got a little flirty in the introductions. She's getting a little flirty with Kordell. They're wearing the same, you know, like matching outfits, and it's cute. And it's like, okay, well maybe they get partnered up. Maybe she goes to him, but she doesn't. She goes to 6'8". She's one of the girls that's on his podium. And after 6'8" picks JaNa instead, Serena kind of has to be like, all right, well I guess we'll partner, which, you know, doesn't feel good. There's nothing you can do about it. It's not her fault. It's one of those things where it's like, it's a little awkward, but we'll get past it. Serena and Kordell start to get to know each other. And the more that Serena gets to know about Kordell, the more she hates him. The more she wants to break up with him.
I guess maybe I'm just getting like more of a friend vibe right now.
Damn.
Yeah.
She just says that to him. She's like, hey, this is not going to work out. Like, I don't want you. And so they split up. And then I think Nicole came in as a bombshell. She gave a little attention to Kordell. We're only seeing snippets of their lives in the villa, right? And the episodes are an hour long, and they're showing a number of different couples and events. So you only get little bits of information. But for some reason, after she broke up with Kordell, she starts going, maybe I was a little hasty. JaNa goes to Kordell and says, hey, Serena, you might be back on her page or back on her radar.
You gave her space, now she feels like she can blossom and open now. You see what I'm saying? Like,
now, you might think this is a little callous. You might be more on Kordell's side. However, understand that Kordell also has his faults. Kordell feels like he is the little brother that is tagging along with his older brother and his friends. He's trying so hard not to mess up that he's not building an authentic connection. So I understand that point of view of Serena's.
I don't know. I just don't want to fuck up.
Like, I would much rather you say some stupid shit and then I know it's real.
And then over the course of the season, he starts to get more comfortable. And then his personality comes out. And he's a really fun guy to be around. You know, he's got a great personality. He's funny. But Serena also institutes a rule. She's like, hey, no kissing when they were dating, getting to know each other.
How would you feel about sharing a bed with me?
Yeah, I'm down for it.
For sure.
Don't try no funny business.
All the other couples are making out. They're in bed, touchy-feely. They're progressing to see if there's any sort of romantic connection there. Serena says, no, none of that. No kissing, no touching, nothing. Nothing. At first, I was like, oh, well, that's a convenient excuse to not have to kiss somebody you don't know if you like. And I don't know. That's the thing is that I wish at some point Serena had like her dream guy, or at least someone who's close to fitting that bill. Have someone like that come in and let's see if she is a slow burn or if she was just using that as like a, well, back off. You know what I mean? I just never got tested in full. Kordell gives her another chance. She wants another chance, and he says, okay, let's do it. Let's try again. And everything is going well. Until they play a game. I think it's called Stay or Twist. Here's how the game works. So there is a barrier between you and the person you're coupled up with. They play music, you dance. There comes a point where you have to make a decision. If you want to stay with the person you are coupled with, you keep dancing. If you want to meet other people and prefer that option, you step back. You see where this is going? Kordell, seeing new life with Serena, he says, you know what? I'm going to keep dancing. We had a rough patch. She broke up with me. She wanted me back. No way she steps back. No way she wants to meet other people now. Where are you going, Serena? Where you go? Where you go? Oh, that wall's coming back. Oh, what a lonely feeling that must be for Kordell. And then for the next, like 20 minutes of show, you hear Kordell say, I feel so stupid. I feel like an idiot. At least like 150 times.
I feel stupid, though. I do still feel stupid. It's fucking looking stupid. I'm over here fucking looking stupid as fuck. Fly as fuck, just look stupid. I'm in this bitch looking stupid. But yeah, I did feel stupid. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I get why he feels that way. Don't you? I mean, after everything we built up. Here's the log of events. Night 1, she chooses another guy first and then has to settle for you. She refuses to kiss you while everyone else is starting to get intimate, or at least, you know, broaching intimacy. Then she breaks up with you. Then she says, I want you back. But still, I don't want to do anything intimate. You start to feel like you're committing to, you know, building something. And then in front of everybody, she declares, I would prefer to meet somebody else over staying in my partnership. That's not to say she's unjustified in any of her actions. She can do whatever she chooses. However, from Kordell's perspective, you would have to feel like that is some shaky ground to build a relationship on.
I do still feel stupid.
And wouldn't you know it, CASA AMOR is around the corner. And in comes Leah, who is all about Kordell. She says, Kordell, I want you.
To me, when I saw you, you were like the person I'm most attracted to, and like your personality and how you are.
Just immediately, within 10 minutes, she has given Kordell more intentionality than Serena has all summer. I mean, it's been like a month at this point. At every turn, Serena has made a point of keeping as much distance between her and Kordell as possible. Right before CASA AMOR, like literally the night before, they had started broaching intimacy. But still, it's like, it's speed bump after speed bump after speed bump, and then in comes a person who's like, hey, no speed bumps here. I want you. Let's do something. Well, they really do be doing something. They really are doing something. They kiss.
So happy. Encore.
After CASA AMOR is over, the guys have a choice. Do you want to bring the girl back that you were with in CASA AMOR? And Kordell says, absolutely. He brings in Leah, and apparently Serena goes on an all-time rant. We see a little bit of it.
Once he got a little attention and he could get his little PD whacker wet a little bit, he was gonna go for it. I'm wiping my hands with this shit.
You're full of fucking shit, Kordell. You're full of shit. You're disrespectful as fuck.
Now, I've given it from Kordell's perspective. Let me give it from Serena's perspective, just so we're fair. You and I, Kordell, we take our time. Unlike everyone else, we take our time in building up our relationship so it has a strong foundation, right? We don't jump into intimacy. You know, we are communicative of our feelings. We take it at our own pace, and it's just now starting to feel special. Then you go off to CASA AMOR for 4 days. We took our time in building up the intimate moments, and you just jumped into that willy-nilly with a person who you met just now. How is it supposed to feel special between you and I if you're willing to do that right away with anyone? And then the incident happens. The thing that I think I'm the only one that cares about. Like, this is insane to me. And you guys let me know if I'm crazy. I'm probably overblowing this. Maybe this is my own personal hell. This is my own personal trauma or something. I don't know. Kordell decides to bring breakfast to both Leah and Serena. This is something the guys have been doing all summer. I don't know if I haven't seen the other seasons. Maybe it's tradition. I don't know. Earlier in the season, when Rob was paired with Leah and Liv, he brought up breakfast for both of them. No problem. Now, Kordell is like, I'm going to bring up breakfast for both. It's a nice thing. It's not romantic. I'm just trying to be friendly. He's a little nervous, so he's like, hey, Rob, you want to come with me? And Rob's like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. He brings his plate over to Serena, and she knocks the plate into his chest, and the food goes splattering to the ground.
Serena.
There is a moment in the reunion where Serena says one of her deal breakers is if you ever lie to her. I can understand that. This is a deal breaker for me. If Hardin fucking Scott brought me a plate of food that I know he poisoned, I would not have the audacity to do that to him. I wouldn't knock it out of his hands into his chest. I'd let him set it down, and I'd push it aside, and I wouldn't eat it. And I'd say, I know what you did. I'm going to steal Tessa from you.
That's not okay.
Maybe Rob also feels some type of way, because Rob is like, that's not okay. I kept waiting for them to talk about it and like flesh that out, because that felt so crazy disrespectful to me. Maybe there's other people that also feel the same way, but maybe this is not a universal disrespect. Kordell just like licks some of the food off of himself, and then he's like, all right, I'm with my day. Maybe I'm biased. I only watched the season one time, obviously, but this is my interpretation as I watched through. It always felt like Kordell was fighting an uphill battle, especially when he came back from CASA AMOR.
I fucked up.
For 4 days.
I fucked up. I got caught up in a moment. I fucked up.
He was always like, I was so wrong. How terrible of me. And I was like, was it so wrong? You just had Serena not too long ago specifically twist and say, I would rather meet somebody else. And you know that she's in another house with a bunch of new guys. There's a chance that she just found somebody new. It would feel almost stupid to not bring somebody back. You know what I mean? At least that's what I would think. And I know they had like a good night the night before CASA AMOR, so maybe there's something there that I'm not getting. But like the whole Serena, we went at a slow pace and now you're out there kissing somebody else. My thing is like the slow pace and the slow burn thing is your thing. You know? Kordell's not obligated to go at a slow pace with other people. I think it's more like she was hurt that she finally like let him in and he immediately jumped ship, or it felt like he was jumping ship and she didn't want to give him another chance. She has very high walls. I can understand the emotional elements of it. I felt like the entire time she never gave Kordell any grace when she repeatedly did things that would hurt him and would just be kind of like oopsie daisy, oh well. And it feels like an imbalanced relationship in that regard. But like I said, when they're working, they're like the cutest couple ever. And they're always laughing and joking and having fun, and it's so nice. So it's like their entire journey, I was frustrated, but then they ended up getting there, and so you feel good about it. You know what I mean? They end up winning the show. Can I spoil? They win, which is some feat, because the amount of people that love Leah, like Leah was the second place finisher with Miguel, who also, spoiler, I guess we're just getting into it. That's the end of the show. She doesn't get back with Rob, despite the fact that everyone wants it. She gets with Miguel, and that's like the best relationship ever too. But Serena and Kordell win the show, and now let's talk about where they are now. Serena and Kordell, they're still together. Good for them. They worked out their problems, their kinks. Leah and Miguel, they both kind of went through different people and while they were in the house at the same time. So I was thinking like, I don't know, I felt like they had other people that they prioritized over each other. So I was surprised that they worked out at the end, but they're still strong from what I've seen. The little bits that I've seen, they feel super duper strong. Who else was together? Aaron and Kaylor. Up until about the reunion, but yeah, it turns out he was still lying about some of the stuff that happened in CASA AMOR. Turns out he was doing a little bit more with Danielle than he let on. So that relationship is donezo, and Aaron is also kind of like persona non grata. Me no likey, whatever that translation is. Kendall and Nicole. I don't know, man. I don't get it. And again, I wasn't that invested in them, so like I just haven't done the research. Here's what I think happens. And you could correct me if I'm wrong on this. Right before they went into the house, they were all like hanging out at a hotel, separated, right before they go into the show. And Kendall was texting a girl who then like leaked messages or photos or something. After they got out of the house, they got their phones back and they saw that Kendall had leaked messages or whatever. And he told Nicole, oh, that was a girl I had met years ago who leaked that stuff. And that he lied. Which is like, what? He sent those messages before you guys met. So what's the big deal? And at the reunion, everyone is like, hey, Nicole, give him a break.
You've been going through it. That's not fair, Nicole.
Okay, guys, sorry.
The amount of people that are on her being like, hey, you're thinking too hard about this. He's fine. You should let him off the hook. I think Serena is the only person that I remember standing up for her, being like, no, it's kind of more of a big deal than you guys think. Everybody else is like all at once jumping to talk and be like, no, he's fine. You should forgive him. But they break up. So whatever. I guess I wasn't invested anyway, so whatever. Oh, JaNa and Kenny are also going strong. And I don't... Did I talk about Kenny much? I think if he wasn't with JaNa, he would just be someone he'd be someone you forget about. Not in a mean way. I just like, he doesn't have like a whole lot of like reality TV show interest. But because JaNa was like a day one, she's gone through a lot and she is so about him, he kind of became a bigger player. So I'm going through a list of like, where are they now? And on Screen Rant, Cassie and Rob got dumped before the Love Island finale. So only the top 4 couples made it to the final. Aaron and Kaylor and Rob and Cassie got dumped. It's like 2 days before the show ended. Didn't matter. Cassie confirmed she no longer was dating Rob through a TikTok video where she confirmed she is queer and done with men. The distance could have been one of the greatest contributing factors to the relationship's demise. The distance? Maybe her not being interested in men anymore? Maybe that was a bigger fucking factor? That was Love Island season 6. It was a really good season. I think there were only a few lull areas. A few areas that dragged on. I think the whole Aaron not coming clean about what happened in CASA dragged, because then we got to hear Kaylor cry, yell. Oh, overall, like, this cast was so likable, and season 7's gonna start sometime in the next couple months here. I went to Reddit to see, like, are other seasons as good as this, Love Island USA? And they were like, no, this is an anomaly. And I'm like, okay, I'm hoping that they learn what happened here. They found some sort of formula that they can repeat, because this was incredible. But I don't think that's the case. I think it's just like they found some really amazing people. Not even like amazing TV show people, but I think these are like really cool people that you like want to spend time with. And then they all kind of became a family. They all became close. And then there was just moments where people made crazy decisions, like the girls kicking out Andrea caused a schism in the house, and it was like, oh, there was so much fun stuff. That's 2 in a row. I think the last video I made was about Temptation Island, which I loved. I love this season as well. I think the next show that I'm going to cover, I'm going to have to do garbage again. Like, I feel wrong for giving you guys so much good stuff. I like washing myself clean of the dirt. There's no dirt on me. It's all fun. I got fun stuff on me. Glitter and stuff. Like, take my glitter. Anyways, that's it. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.